Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamatiri Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 2, Daksha curses Lord Shiva, text number 26 onwards. So as we know, in that arena of sacrifice, Daksha got angry, he committed offenses against Lord Shiva, and then in his anger he left the sacrifice, although everybody asked him not to leave, calm down, but he was so angry, so infuriated actually, he just left. And then Nandishvara got angry, and then he started cursing everybody, all the Brahmins who were supporting Daksha. Or he didn't say anything when Daksha was speaking ill about Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was just sitting there listening to all this cursing, counter-cursing going on. Nandishvara actually, he looks very calm and quiet, very peaceful when we go to the temples. He doesn't look like he's in any angry mood, but he got very angry when his master was offended. But this is the result of anger. Cannot control yourself, cannot control the mind, cannot control the tongue. So difficult when we get angry. So that's why first, one of the things that we need to control is anger. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam. So these are urges, we have to control. We have to, if we want to make progress spiritually. So here Nandi is still cursing the Brahmins. Sarva bhaksha dvija vritya dhrit vidya tapo vrita vit dehendriya riyarama yachka vicharant viha. These Brahmins take to education, austerity and vows only for the purpose of maintaining the body. They shall be devoid of discrimination between what to eat and what not to eat. They will acquire money begging from door to door simply for the satisfaction of the body. And this curse of Nandishvara is actually on all the Brahmins, and they have become poor. Now the Brahmins became poor after that. The third curse inflicted by Nandishvara on the Brahmins who supported Daksha is completely functioning in the age of Kali. The so-called Brahmins are no longer interested in understanding the nature of the Supreme Brahman. Although Brahman means one who has attained knowledge about Brahman. In the Vedanta Sutra also it is stated, Athata Brahma Jigyasa. This human form of life is meant for realization of the Supreme Brahman, the Absolute Truth. Or in other words, human life is meant for one's elevation to the post of a Brahman. So this Brahman, when we say human life is meant for one's elevation to the post of a Brahman, means one has to know the absolute truth. Means this post of Brahman is not by birth, it's by guna and karma. Anybody can become a Brahman. Unfortunately, the modern Brahmins, or the so-called Brahmins who come in our originally Brahminical families, have left their own occupational duties, but they do not allow others to occupy the post of Brahmins. The qualifications for Brahmins are described in the scriptures, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and all other Vedic literatures. Brahman is not a hereditary title or position. If someone from a non-Brahman family, for example, one born in the family of Shudras, tries to become a Brahman by being properly qualified under the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master, these so-called Brahmins will object. So this is what actually has caused the downfall of Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism. The so-called Brahmins, they have acquired the positions of Brahmins, but they don't have the qualities or the knowledge, or they don't do the activities of a Brahmin that is supposed to be according to the scriptures. And since they don't have knowledge, they are giving the wrong message, wrong knowledge, and so gradually people lost interest in Sanatana Dharma. Yeah, what is this nonsense? It's complete nonsense. Like Prabhupada wrote or he said in his lecture that in Calcutta there would be rickshaw pullers or those people selling meat, and they would be wearing this sacred thread, Janeau. And people would be going to the meat seller, oh, he's a Brahman, so we can buy meat from him and we can eat, it's okay. Or a rickshaw puller. I mean, a Brahman cannot be a rickshaw puller. Just because he's wearing a thread doesn't mean he's a Brahman. He's working, his work is of a Shudra. But people don't understand this, so they will still go to that person, oh, you are a Brahman, and give us, teach us something, and what knowledge he would have and what knowledge he can impart to others. So the Brahmins are very, very important section of the society, the intelligent class. And they're supposed to work that way only. Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dan, Pratigraha. These are their duties. But in this day and age, everything has gone down, everything. First the Muslim rule, then the British rule, and then, of course, Muslim rule happened because the Brahmins were not properly helping the kings to rule the country. They were more busy in their own well-being. The last Brahman, the last known Brahman that can be is Chanakya Pandit. But it's difficult to follow that ideal or those requirements of a Brahman. So it's just Brahman in name only. And this is what happened not because of Nandishvara curse, because that curse happened in Satyuga, and this is Kali Yuga we are talking. That curse happened in the time of Swayambhuva Manu, the first Satyuga, and now is a Vavasat Manu, 7th Manu's 28th Kali Yuga going on. But the effect of the curse is still there. And it happened because of the offense committed against Lord Shiva. Of course, later on, Bhrigu Rishi also, he goes and he kicks Lord Vishnu in his chest, and then Lakshmiji also cursed the Brahmins because of that. Lakshmiji got angry with the Brahmins. But regardless, if we become a devotee of the Lord, so Vaishnava is automatically a Brahman because he knows about the Lord, and then not just knows, he's serving the Lord. So he's a Vaishnava, he's a devotee in a loving sense. Then that devotee is always protected by the Lord and is always looked favorably upon by Lakshmiji also and Shivji also and everybody. Because a Vaishnava is not interested in committing offenses or cursing, counter-cursing. He's not at all interested in all this. Here Nandishvara got angry because Lord Shiva was insulted. But Lord Shiva himself did not get angry. He didn't say anything. So many qualities of Lord Shiva that we have to appreciate, respect, and try to adopt if we understand his position properly. Such Brahmins, having been cursed by Nandishvara, are actually in a position where they have no discrimination between eatables and non-eatables, and simply live to maintain the perishable material body and its family. Such fallen conditioned souls are not worthy to be called Brahmins. But in Kali Yuga, they claim to be Brahmins. And if a person actually tries to attain the Brahminical qualifications, they try to hinder his progress. Because they are afraid that they'll lose the position if somebody else becomes a Brahmin. This is a situation in the present age. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu condemned this principle very roughly, very strongly. During his conversation with Ramanand Rai, he said that regardless of whether a person is born in a Brahmin family or Shudra family, regardless of whether he is a householder or a sannyasi, if he knows the signs of Krishna, he must be a spiritual master. So this is what Mahaprabhu said. Kiba vibra kiba nyasi, Shudra kenenai, Jai Krishna tattvaveta, Sai Guru Hai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had many so-called Shudra disciples like Haridas Thakur and Ramanand Rai. Even the Goswamis, who were principal students of Lord Chaitanya, were also ostracized from Brahmin society. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by his grace, made them first-class Vaishnavas. So 6 Goswamis, just like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they practically became Muslims. Not really, but practically, because they were serving under Nawab Hussain Shah and they were given the titles at Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. And when Nawab Hussain Shah was out there breaking the temples and killing the Brahmins and killing the Vaishnavas, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were conducting his business of his kingdom. Of course, later on they just gave up everything after meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But until that time, they were doing all this. Although they were born in a Saraswat Brahman family. And so because of their service under this Nawab Hussain Shah, they themselves claimed that we are not fit now to be called Brahmins. So that is one of the reasons they themselves never entered Jagannath Puri temple. Because in Jagannath Puri temple there's a restriction, only Hindus are allowed, and they said we practically became Muslims. So it was their humility, and they said we are not qualified to enter the Jagannath temple, so we cannot go inside, and they never went. Haridas Thakur never went. He was born in a Muslim family, so he never went inside. But because of his devotion, because of his humility, because of his surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu himself would bring Jagannath Prashadam every day to Haridas Thakur and deliver it to him at his kuti where he was sitting and doing his bhajan. So it's not that being born in some non-varnashram family is a cause of that one cannot perform devotional service. One can perform. That is why everybody and anybody. It's not a hindrance if one is born in some low family that he cannot perform devotional service. Mahaprabhu showed by his example. Ramanand Rai, he was born as a Shudra, but Mahaprabhu. Now Ramanand Rai is actually Vishakha Sakhi from Krishna Leela. But in this Leela, he was born as Ramanand Rai, and Mahaprabhu would discuss the intimate topics of Krishna Leela with him. That's how close he was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu is known as Patita Pavan, most magnificent avatar. Namo Mahavadanyaya. And he is Patita Pavan. And if you look at his associates, most of them were from lower caste, so-called lower caste, but wonderful, wonderful devotees, and Mahaprabhu always gave them so much of mercy. So point is, it's just we have to we have to be engaged in devotion service properly and make proper progress. And Mahaprabhu's mercy is always there, always will be there. Srila Prabhupada went even further, when many steps beyond Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Prabhupada came to the West, where they had never even heard of devotional service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They didn't even know how to be vegetarian and how not to eat meat, drink, or have illicit relationships or gamble. What is this? There's no life if you don't do this. This is what their life was. Hippies, taking drugs. This is worse than just smoking a cigarette. And openly having illicit relationships. Openly, there was nothing hidden. And Prabhupada came and he made them Vaishnavas, he made them sannyasis, he made them Brahmins, he made them qualified to do deity worship, qualified to make disciples, he made them gurus. And that too in a short period of only 12 years, while traveling all over the world. And managing so many temples, managing so many disciples, writing books, giving interviews, giving lectures, and so many other services. This is what Prabhupada did. So it's not just, and not just in America, he did all over the world. If he had done only in America, in one city, okay, fine. He did it all over the world. That is the potency. That's why for Prabhupada it is said, Mahaprabhu said, more Senapati Bhakta will come. Senapati Bhakta, like great general devotee. Who that devotee is in the spiritual world, we don't know. We can speculate about Prabhupada's position, but definitely the work that he has done, nobody can even think of doing. Because he was fully surrendered, had full faith, and Mahaprabhu had his mercy on him, had his potency on him. Nityananda Prabhu's potency was with him, and he did amazing, impossible thing he has achieved. So this proves that one does not need to be born in a Brahmin family to be a Brahmin. One can even become Vaishnava even if he's born in a family who's not even following Varnashram Dharma, outside Varnashram Dharma. But this does not go down well with the caste Brahmins in India. So now the Brahmins, or especially Bhrigu Muni, he got angry. Let's see what he says. Tasyavam vadata shapam shutra drij kulaiva Bhrigu pratisrijat chapam brahmadandam dratyayam. When all the hereditary Brahmins were thus cursed by Nandishvara, the sage Bhrigu as a reaction condemned the followers of Lord Shiva with this very strong Brahminical curse. Now even Bhrigu Muni, he should have displayed the Brahminical qualities, but he got angry as well. And he cursed. The word Dhrutyaya is particularly used in reference to a Brahmadanda or a curse by a Brahman. A curse by a Brahman is very strong. Therefore it is called Dhrutyaya or insurmountable. As the Lord states in Bhagavad Gita, the stringent laws of nature are insurmountable. Similarly, if a curse is uttered by a Brahman, that curse is also insurmountable. But Bhagavad Gita also says that the curses or benedictions of the material world are, after all, material creations. The Chaitanya Charitamrita confirms that that which is accepted in this material world to be a benediction and that which is taken to be a curse are both on the same platform because they are material. Material means they are all temporary. To get out of this material contamination, one should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as recommended in Bhagavad Gita. Mamevye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. The best path is to transcend all material curses and benedictions and take shelter of the Supreme Lord Krishna and remain in a transcendental position. Persons who have taken shelter of Krishna are always peaceful. They are never cursed by anyone, nor do they attempt to curse anyone. That is a transcendental position. So Lord Shiva never cursed anybody. And in Bhagavatam, we'll see throughout Bhagavatam the stories of different devotees. Prahlad Maharaj, he was tortured. He was he was attempted murder by his father himself, but Prahlad Maharaj never cursed him. Dhruv Maharaj never cursed anybody. Chitraketu Maharaj, you'll read the story of Chitraketu. He got cursed by Parvati ji, but he never cursed back. And so many other devotees, because they see Amrish Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, they got Parikshit Maharaj, the whole story of Bhagavatam is because Parikshit Maharaj got cursed by that Brahman boy. But he could have counter-cursed or he could have stopped that curse also. But he never did, never attempted. He just took shelter of the Katha, Krishna Katha. That's devotee. That's why when the qualities of devotees are mentioned, one verse, beautiful verse is there. In third canto only we read that. Titikshva karunika suhrida sarvatehinam ajashatruva shanta sadha sadhu bhushana. So titikshva. So one the characteristics of devotee. Titikshva means tolerant. So one who is tolerant is not going to curse anybody. Karunika, full of compassion. When you're full of compassion, how can somebody full of compassion think of bad of anybody? No way. Suhrida means a best friend. If I have my best friend, no matter what he does, I'll not curse him. Suhrida sarvadehi now. Ajat Shatruva, he doesn't have any enemy. Ajat Shatruva Shanta, he's always peaceful. So these are the qualities of a devotee. So these means he's not going to curse anybody. Even if somebody does worse thing against him, he'll just still be the well-wisher of that person. So that is why the devotees are very, very dear to Krishna. He never says he's a Brahman Vatsala, he's Bhakt Vatsala. So Brahmins are good, they have their own position. But to get dear to Krishna, that's a different position altogether. So that position is what we desire. And by becoming a Vaishnava, by becoming dear to Krishna, one gets a chance to enter the spiritual world. So that is the position we want. But in this story, this cursing and counter cursing is going on. So Bhrigu is saying, Bhavavrita dhara yecha tan samanuvrita pashandi naste bhavantu satchastra paripanthina. One who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva or who follows such principles will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions. So this is for the followers of Lord Shiva, that they'll become atheists or impersonalists also. It is sometimes seen that the devotees of Lord Shiva imitate the characteristics of Lord Shiva. For example, Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison. So some of the followers of Lord Shiva imitate him and try to take intoxicants like ganja. Here the curse is that if someone follows such principles, he must become an infidel and turn against the principles of Vedic regulation. It is said that such devotees of Lord Shiva will be Satchastra Paripanthina, which means opposed to the conclusion of Shastra or scripture. This is confirmed in the Padma Puran also. Lord Shiva was ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to preach the impersonal or Mayavad philosophy for a particular purpose, just as Lord Buddha preached the philosophy of voidness for particular purposes mentioned in the Shastras. Sometimes it is necessary to preach a philosophical doctrine which is against the Vedic conclusion. In the Shiva Puran, it is stated that Lord Shiva said to Parvati that in the Kali Yuga, in the body of a Brahman, he would preach the Mayavad philosophy. So, but when they make this TV serial on Shiva Puran, they don't show this part. Because they themselves don't understand, and this part doesn't sell the TV serial properly. So they are not going to show this. Thus, it is generally found that the worshippers of Lord Shiva are Mayavadi followers. Lord Shiva himself says, Mayavadam Asat Shastram. Asat Shastram, Asat Shastra, as explained here, means the doctrine of Mayavad impersonalism, of becoming one with the Supreme. Bhrigu cursed that persons who worshipped Lord Shiva would become followers of this Mayavad Asat Shastra, which attempts to establish that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is impersonal. Besides that, among the worshippers of Lord Shiva, there is a section who live a devilish life. Srimad Bhagavatam and Narad Pancharatra are authorized scriptures that are considered Sat Shastra, or scriptures which lead one to the path of God realization. Asat Shastras are just the opposite. So this is generally seen among the followers of Lord Shiva. Either they are too much into materialism or they become impersonalist. Although Lord Shiva has a Vaishnava sect, Rudra Sampradaya, but even in that Sampradaya, which these days are followed by Vallabhacharya sect, so he became the prominent Acharya of that sect. But in that sect, so it is more of books by Vallabhacharya or before him Vishnu Swami that are being followed than exactly worshipping Lord Shiva. They worship Krishna. Of course, the original came and the founder Acharya is Lord Shiva, but the teaching, his position is not being promoted properly in that sect also. But so most of the devotees or followers of or worshippers of Lord Shiva, they have this impersonal tinge in their philosophy, and that's what they would like to follow. So this is because of the cursing by now Bhrigu Muni. He's counter cursing the followers of Lord Shiva. So anyway, but Lord Shiva, wonderful, wonderful devotee, wonderful personality. If you can get even a scratch of his qualities, just a little bit, that's good enough for us to make progress. So we'll stop here, see anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Among the followers of Shankaracharya, there are some devotees who chant the names of Lord Rama. So incessantly, they also chant the holy names. They do everything, but they have this idea that they want to become one with Lord Ram. So that's why they chant. So how to find out this? That who is the real devotee? Somebody is chanting the holy names all the time. We can even mistake them to be Vaishnavas. And we can get carried away by their philosophy sometime later.
Yeah, there's always a risk. So that is why if one path we know, that is for sure, there's nothing wrong with Prabhupada's books and the path that is established by Prabhupada or Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So let's follow that and let's get our philosophy correct first of Shankara, Lord Shiva's followers, Mayavadi followers, then they chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra also. It's not just Ram's name. Sometimes they chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra as well. But the mood is, like you said, they want to become one with Ram or Krishna, not to serve them, not to surrender.
Yeah, but where is it stated even in their philosophy? But is it stated by Shankaracharya somewhere in the books or his writings that by chanting the names of Lord Ram or Krishna, they can become one with Lord Ram? Or they already assume that they are one with Lord Ram?
Yeah, the point is, what they say is, we are one, so aham, but we are not realized that. So by chanting of the name, we'll become realized and then we'll become one.
Okay.
So, but Vaishnava philosophy is not so aham, but daso aham. I'm a servant. Not so aham.
So there's a huge difference between the two. Both of
Oh,
them
yeah.
do the activities almost like similar. So for people like me who have not well read in the Vaishnava literature, so yesterday I was just hearing one lecture and Prabhuji was giving one example of one Ramadas who met Raghunath Das Goswami, and I think Raghunath Das Goswami took him to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thinking that this is a great Rama Bhakt, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not show any interest in meeting this person. So he was very surprised. Why? Then later on, it was revealed that this Rama Bhakt was chanting the holy name of Lord Rama 24 hours, but with such great pride in his knowledge and also in an attempt to become one with Ram. And if
Yeah.
I meet somebody like that, naturally I will be carried away by the person's austerity and attachment to the holy name.
Yeah, but Ramdas, at least he got mercy. Like he carried the bag of Raghunath Das Goswami, served him, and by his mercy he could take darshan of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He got that mercy. So maybe later on he became Vaishnava. I don't know. It's never explained what happened to him later on.
Yeah.
But yes,
Right.
Mahaprabhu didn't give him any importance.
So because Mahaprabhu was Krishna himself, he could see the heart of the other living entity. But even for Vaishnavas, it is so difficult. Unless we have a discussion and find out by the talking, it's very difficult because they also show a lot of service attitude.
Yeah. Oh
They
yeah.
come to serve the Vaishnavas. Do they have an intention to convert the Vaishnavas into their philosophy?
That's always the intention.
Acha.
I mean, you just look at. Don't go too far. I mean, just look at Radha Swami or Brahm Kumaris. Brahm Kumaris. Take the example of Brahm Kumaris. Shivani Didi. Great speaker, wonderful speaker, and very great personality. Austere, very pure. But look at her lectures. So ultimately it comes to, okay, you join our that Raj Yoga meditation and this and that. So what will happen if you join the Raj Yoga meditation? So it's always there. Obviously,
Sorry,
I mean,
Prabhu, I
it's.
missed you. Actually, my headphone become. I think your voice is coming in a disconnected way.
I'm saying,
Even now.
if you look at the example of Shivani Didi, so in the end, she always says, do the Raj Yoga meditation. Come to our centers and do the Raj Yoga meditation and read the books, which is fine from her point of view. There's nothing wrong what she is doing from her perspective. But this is always the underlying aim that we want to convert more people. bring them more into our fold. Whether he's a Vaishnava, whether he's
That is
non-Vaishnava,
okay.
doesn't matter. It's always objective.
So the difference between them and the Vaishnavas, they want to make everybody close to Krishna. So, but they are
Yeah.
also mistaken for converting people to, like there are some people who say ISKCON is preaching to convert everybody to ISKCON. But deep down, if we see, the devotees are doing the preaching because they want to establish the connection between the living entities and Krishna. So, but how this is also like
Yeah,
they
but
will also accuse us. You're also preaching.
yeah, but sometimes devotees also become little fanatic.
There are a lot of
If,
devotees, yeah, no doubt. Because in the mature stage, we also do like this, thinking that we'll have more people, then we'll feel better.
like Prabhupada, if you listen to Prabhupada's lectures, Prabhupada said, okay, you remain Muslim, you remain Christian, just do exactly what Muhammad said and what Jesus Christ said. Do exactly what they said. And you'll become a better Christian, you become a better Muslim. And another thing I was reading about Prabhupada was that whether you follow Hinduism, Vaishnavism, Islam, Christianity, if you're getting closer to God, you're doing the right thing. Something like that, he said.
Right.
See, he
Prabhupada always
was
speaks very,
non-sectarian.
very clearly. He never. That's why I think a lot of people became attracted to him because he never showed any interest in material things, even followers. So he got so many followers.
Yeah.
Right, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, in the verse it is mentioned the one who goes to satisfy Lord Shiva will eventually become atheist. So Prabhuji, it is for certain devotees or for all kind of devotees of Lord Shiva?
Well, most of the devotees, they go to Lord Shiva for money. For some material benefit. And he's Ashutosh, he gives those material benefits easily. But those who want to follow him or his teachings, they are the followers of the Shankaracharya. So they become the atheist or impersonalists.
Okay, Prabhuji.
But we follow the mood of Lord Shiva, which is he's always meditating on the Ras Leela of Krishna and he's always chanting the names of Ram. So that is the right mood. Is it okay?
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Yes.
Thank you, brother. Okay, so we'll stop here. You all have a wonderful and safe day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.